The meeting will come to order. Welcome to our April 23rd regular board meeting. A special thank you to each and every one of you who are in attendance tonight. It's always great to see a big crowd, and we appreciate you for being here. I would like to inform our audience that our board just left executive session to discuss personnel matters, homeschooling applications, a student discipline appeal, and receive legal advice pertaining to social media multi-district litigation, the South Carolina Freedom of Information Act, and lawsuit 2024-CP-23-01951. No decisions were made and no votes were taken. Our first item on the agenda is the welcome, the prayer, and the pledge. If everyone would please stand for the prayer and remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ms. Morrison-Fair, our secretary, will lead us in the prayer.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. Let us pray. Our Father who art in heaven, we are so grateful that you care so deeply about every person you create. And when we love people the way that you do, we reflect your generous love to a broken world in need of hope. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to show that love to so many of those who are often overlooked. Truth, righteousness, peace, faith, and salvation are more than just words. Teach us how to apply these words daily. We need to use them often and throughout our lives. Finally, we ask that you bless us and keep us. Allow your face to shine upon each individual and give us peace among all men. We humbly pray. Amen.
Thank you, Ms. Morrison. Thank you, Ms. Morrison-Fair. And at this time, Ms. Bush, we have a special guest to lead us in the pledge. Would you like to introduce our guest?
I would love to. Thank you, Dr. Stiles. I am so excited tonight. From the northern part of the county, we are welcoming Lucas Nelson to read the Pledge of Allegiance for us. Lucas is a 4th grade student at Slater Marietta Elementary School, where he is a member of the Junior Beta Club and maintains excellent grades. He loves history, so his favorite subject is social studies. His principal notes that Lucas is a model student who exhibits leadership qualities, including friendship, integrity, and is a very hard worker. Outside of school, Lucas enjoys playing football, baseball, and soccer. He plays football for the TR Devil Dogs. Go Devil Dogs. And this past year was voted its most valuable player, and he led the league in tackles and tackles for loss. Accompanying Lucas tonight are his proud parents, Jacob and Shannon Nelson, his brothers Levi and Lawson, and his principal, Miss Candace Stanton. Thank you so much for being here tonight for us, Lucas.
Attention, salute, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And you may be seated. And thank you again, Lucas, for leading the pledge for us tonight. We appreciate it so much. And thank you to your family members who are here, and also to your principal, Ms. Stanton. We really appreciate your presence. And thank you for being a difference maker at Slater Elementary. Have a great night, guys. Our next matter of business is also very exciting. We are pleased to have with us the Arms Elementary Music 2 students from our central site. And they're going to be performing for us. We're going to ask them to come forward and stand in front of the dais. And I just want the board members to know that if your view is not good, feel free to step down where you can get a better view. I went to the restroom earlier and I heard them practicing, and we're certainly in for a big treat tonight. And directing them right now, you see Mr. Dan Leach, and he is their instructor. And Mr. Leach, we certainly appreciate you for bringing your students tonight. And it gives the board great pleasure to showcase the talents of our students. So thank you to each and every student. Thank you to their parents, and thank you to Mr. Leach. So if you'll give us just a moment, Mr. Leach, we're going to get situated where we can really get a good view of these outstanding students, and then we'll let you begin, okay? All right, board members, feel free if you need to change your seat, okay? Mr. Leach, thank you so much for sharing your class tonight. And boys and girls, thank you for sharing beautiful music with us. You're certainly a very talented group of individuals. And we'll look forward to maybe that again in the future. That was beautiful. Also, I would like to say thank you to Debbie Bush, She brought us our flowers tonight, and they're beautiful and certainly brighten the day. As thank you, Ms. Bush, for always being so thoughtful for us. Our next matter of business is the adoption of the consent calendar. The consent calendar includes items 2.01 through 2.05. We have a recommended motion from the administration to approve the consent calendar as presented.
Madam Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Sailors.
move for the adoption of the consent calendar as presented.
Thank you. Mr. Sailors has made a motion. Ms. Lavendis Wells has made a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. Motion carries. Our third item on the agenda is appearance of visitors, and we have a couple of visitors with us tonight who are going to be speaking. Ms. Bush, would you please share the speaking guidelines at this time?
Thank you, Dr. Stiles. Welcome to those of you who signed up to speak tonight for the Board of Trustees. Thank you for your interest in Greenville County Schools. As each speaker's name is called, he or she will proceed to the podium at the end of the board's dais, where there is a microphone and light system. Each speaker has up to 3 minutes to speak to the board. The light system will be green for the first 2 minutes and will turn yellow when 1 minute remains on the speaker's allotted time. In keeping with board policy KCA, abusive language or personal attacks aimed at students or staff members will not be permitted. All speakers are expected to behave in an orderly and respectful manner. The board will not engage in discussion with the speaker or respond to the comments. The superintendent will designate a member of the staff to respond to each speaker in an appropriate and timely manner. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Ms. Bush. We appreciate you for sharing those guidelines with us. Our first speaker tonight is Jennifer Yamamoto.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Yamamoto, and I'm a parent of 2 kids in Blythe Academy's Spanish program. I hope everyone received my email earlier today that goes into more detail of what I'm about to go over. I'm here to bring light on how Blythe's admin has been lacking in communication, immersion, understanding, and child discipline. This admin has definitely created a sort of insider-outsider mentality with its parents only sharing what it absolutely must. A clear example of that can be seen with our SIC meetings. False meeting times have been put out to parents along with admin telling parents that these are closed meetings. The last meeting, non-members were repeatedly told, and I quote, "We welcome community members joining and watching and seeing what's going on in SIC, but we also don't want to be distracted." They also said non-members can be part of the SIC meeting, but that doesn't mean that they get to ask all of the questions and participate as voting members do. Parents were also told that SIC was not a forum to ask questions about immersion. These comments do not create a welcoming environment. So if SIC is not the forum to create for parents to express concerns and our principal has lost the parents' confidence, where do parents go? The only ombudsman that we really have has a major conflict of interest with our principal, and the next up at the chain is retiring. Blythe parents have had no reliable person for the last 4 months. How is this acceptable? As for immersion and discipline, my son's 5th grade class has been working towards lessening their English all year. In early March, a kid from the English program was moved into his class not knowing any Spanish. I brought up this concern, and the admin refused to acknowledge how it would have any negative effect on the teacher, who now needs to conduct lessons in both languages, and ultimately the students. This is just one instance that clearly shows the lack of understanding and initiative the admin has for our immersion program. Going along the same student, this student has been moved due to constant behavioral issues. He has bullied other kids, caused fights, classroom disruptions, and the former teacher could not handle him. So our admin and program coordinator chose to make him another classroom's problem. Group punishment due to a small number of kids has become a recurring theme with our school. Clearly, the lack of emergent knowledge and refusal to properly handle behavioral issues from our top admin and program coordinator is beginning to truly have a negative effect on our teachers and students. There's so much more, but clearly 3 minutes just isn't enough. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Katherine Schumacher.
Good evening to all of you. I'm pleased to be here on behalf of the Public Education Partners team and board to provide an update about Bright Spots. As an organization that focuses not just on supporting teachers and students directly, but also through policy and advocacy work, all of us at PEP believe that celebrating wins that make a difference is really important. And I always like to work in threes, so tonight here are 3 wins on behalf of our community and our public school students, educators, and champions. First of all, 2 weeks ago, we celebrated Teach GCS Night at the Greenville Drive game. I know that a couple of you were able to join us or have been in the past. We had almost 1,000 Greenville County Schools teachers register for their free tickets, t-shirts, and $5 meal voucher, and 200 first-year teachers and mentors signed up for the special picnic before the game. Greenville teachers threw out the first pitch, sang the national anthem, and called out play ball. It was a really, really fun evening. Special thanks to the Drive for being such generous hosts, to Dr. Stiles for joining us to speak to the first-year teachers, and to Dr. Royster for being a good sport and waiting for the rain delay to make his remarks. I also want to recognize and thank in particular the district's communications department, especially Matt Moore, who did a really fantastic job to coordinate and promote the event. We're really looking forward to it next year. Second, wanted to let you know that our award-winning data center, informedsc.org, has been redesigned and relaunched under the leadership of our longtime senior researcher, Craig Stein. informedsc.org aggregates data primarily from the South Carolina Department of Education and uses visualizations and other tools to make it easier for folks to understand, for folks who want to know about the sort of numbers behind public education. We've posted data about student demographics, teachers, and achievement, and are putting the final touches on a finances section. The site also talks about why this data matters and provides deeper dive content on trending issues. We're really proud of informedsc.org and excited to grow its usage and impact. Finally, it's Make Summer Count time. You all should have received an email invitation from me to join us for an upcoming family reading night at one of our 12 Title I schools here in the district. Since 2013, PEP, through our community sponsors, has invested $3 million in free books for Greenville County School elementary students through Make Summer Count. We are grateful to each and every one of those sponsors and to the district for their help in our efforts to fight the summer reading slide and encourage reading among our families. As always, thank you for the opportunity to strengthen, support, and advance student achievement and public education in Greenville County Schools. It is an honor to work beside all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Schumacher. Our next matter of business is item 4.01, the superintendent's report. Dr. Royster, do you have a report?
Thank you, Dr. Stiles. I would like first to introduce a new appointee, our newly appointed Assistant Superintendent for Secondary School Leadership, Middle Schools, Dr. Moren Tiller. Dr. Tiller, I believe, probably needs no introduction to the members of the board, but to the public tonight. The district, having served very successfully as an elementary principal, a middle school principal, a high school principal with a reputation in each of those locations for turning around student achievement. And she also served as K-12 Director of Instruction in Lawrence 56, or they would want me to say the Clinton district, because they're very particular about distinguishing themselves from Lawrence. So we are very pleased to welcome Dr. Tiller to this new role and look forward to having her as a member of the district leadership team and providing that same kind of guidance and leadership that she has so successfully provided at Fountain Inn High School. Dr. Tiller, congratulations and welcome. Do you have anyone with you tonight? Okay. There was one other approval. We will introduce her at a later meeting from out of the district when she's able to be here with us to introduce. And I cede my time to the choral performance, which I believe they were probably far more entertaining than anything I might have said.
Thank you so much. Yes.
May I just give a shout out to the teacher
Sure.
our future teacher educators.
Yes.
They could just please stand up. I mean, I've received, Ms. Turner, I just want you to know, your students have sent me emails, and I love hearing them. I answer them at 2 or 3 in the morning. There's some I have not finished, but if y'all could just stand up and just, okay, HR, I want you to see, these are the people that you're going to hire as soon as they graduate from college. So let's give them a round of applause. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys so much for being here tonight, and thank you, Ms. Leventis Wells, for introducing them. We're always excited as a board to see future teachers in our audience. You guys inspire us. So our next 5 action items, our next 5 items are action items, and our first one is 5.01, City of Greenville easement request at Serene Stadium. We have a recommended motion from the Committee of the Whole to approve the easement agreement with the City of Greenville at Serene Stadium as presented and approve the termination of the existing easement at the same location. This motion does not require a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. The motion carries. Our next action item is 5.02, approval of the annual audit plan. We have a recommended motion from the Audit Team Committee to approve the 2024-25 annual audit plan for the external auditor as presented. This motion does not require a second. Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. The motion carries. Our next action item is 5.03, fiscal year 2025 general obligation bonds resolution. We have a recommended motion from the administration to approve the April 2024 general obligation bonds resolution. I need a maker of the motion.
Madam Chairman.
Yes, Mr. Sailors?
I move to approve the April 2024 general obligation bond resolution.
Mr. Sailors has made a motion. Do I have a second? Okay, Ms. Morrison Fair has made a second. Any discussion? Questions? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. The motion carries. Our next action item is 5.04, student discipline appeal. We have a recommended motion from the administration to affirm the decision of the hearing officer and deny the appeal. I need a maker of the motion.
Dr. Stiles,
Yes, Ms. Britt?
I would like to make the motion to affirm the decision of the hearing officer and to deny the appeal.
Thank you.
Second.
And Ms. Leventis Wells has made a second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. All opposed, no. The motion carries. Our final action item is 5.05, approval of legal representation. We have a recommended motion from the administration to approve providing legal representation for the defense of Dr. Burke Roycer, Dr. Grayson Walls, and Mr. Harold McPhail in accordance with Board Policy GAEA and South Carolina law in the matter of 2024-CP-23-01951. I need a maker of the motion.
Madam Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Sailors?
I make a motion that we accept the administration's recommendation.
Second.
Mr. Sailors has made a motion. Ms. Doolin has made a second. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. Okay, the motion carries. Our next action item is 6.01, Board Officer Candidate Roster. This item is for information only, and I'm going to ask our secretary, Ms. Glenda Morrison-Fayer, to present the final officer candidate roster as required by Board Policy BBAA. Ms. Morrison-Fayer, please provide the final roster at this time.
Thank you, Madam Chairman. The final roster of candidates for our officers are Chair Carolyn Stiles, Vice Chair Linda Leventis Wells and Angie Mosley, and Secretary Anne Marie Middleton. This is the final list of candidates who have applied for those positions. The voting will be held in June.
Thank you, Mrs. Morrison Fair. Our next action item is 7.01, Committee Liaison Reports. Do we have any committee members who would like to share?
Madam Chairman,
Yes, Mr. Sailors?
this is a point of information. The Advocacy Committee will be meeting immediately following our Committee of the Whole meeting on May the 14th.
Thank you, Mr. Sailors. Anyone else? All right. Our final agenda item is 8.01, the monthly finance report. This item is for information only. The monthly financial statements have been presented. Does anyone have any questions? Okay, hearing none, this concludes our agenda. Again, thank you to each and every one of you for your presence this evening. Do we have a motion to adjourn? Motion to adjourn. We have a motion from Ms. Linda Leventis Wells. We have a second from Ms. Goodwin Caldwell. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no. The motion carries. We are adjourned at 7:27. Have a great evening, everyone.